In the previous class, we studied about this quarter wave line, lambda by 4 line. Now, it is also called as a quarter wave transformer. It is also called as quarter wave transformer. See, this quarter wave transformer is a transmission line. It is a transmission line. It has a characteristic impedance, propagation constant. Okay, and it is also at one end connected to the load ZL. Okay, so this is a transmission line. So as we studied from the beginning, so the impedance looking in this direction, so this is the length of the line, it is equal to lambda by 4 here. So we are measuring the input impedance looking towards the load at a distance of lambda by 4. So what we observed, if it is a low frequency operation, okay, then what we are expecting, this input impedance between these two terminal looking in this direction, if it is a low frequency, it is equal to ZL, but it is not like that at a higher frequency, microwave frequency. Okay, so if the length of the line is lambda by 4, okay, if you look this direction towards the load ZL at a distance of lambda by 4, the input impedance ZIN, it is given by this equation. So by substituting the length of the line, that is lambda by 4, and beta value 2 pi by lambda, we got this ZIN equal to this value. Okay, what we can see here, ZIN, it is as you expected, it is not equal to ZL, like a low frequency. It doesn't behave like a simple short circuit. Okay, so what if a transmission line is like this and a connected load, we cannot expect ZIN equal to ZL. Okay, it is given by this equation, Z0 square divided by ZL. Okay, it depends upon the value of characteristic impedance of this transmission line, ZIN. So that's why it is called as a transformer. It is transforming this ZL to this value, input impedance looking in this direction, whatever it may be. It is some circuit, maybe whatever it is. Okay, some like a block it is. Okay, this input impedance is Z0 square divided by ZL. Okay, so input impedance is not equal to ZL, it is given by this equation. That's why it is called as a transformer. It transformed this quarter wave line, transformed this ZL to this value. That's why it is called as a quarter wave transformer, QWT. Okay, it is also called as a QWT, quarter wave transformer. Quarter wave length line behaves like a transformer of the impedance ZL. Okay, so as you know, in transformer, input impedance and output impedance, primary impedance and secondary impedance will be different. Okay, similarly, this is transforming the impedance ZL to some value. It is given by this equation. So and so that ZIN depends upon the value of characteristic impedance of the transmission line. So based on so we can get any value of this ZIN. We can get even this ZL is fixed. This ZIN can be obtained any value based on the value of this characteristic impedance of the transmission line. So choose a proper value of this characteristic impedance, you can get a required value of ZIN. For example, I want here input impedance. This ZL must be transformed to some value like 100 ohm. What I can do, this is for example fixed. I can choose a value, proper value of this characteristic impedance to get that particular value of input impedance. So that's why this is used for impedance matching purpose. This can be used for impedance matching purpose. Okay, that one problem I solved in the earlier class. See, like this is a problem what we discussed. Okay, so transmission line is there, main transmission line, it is connected to a load 100 ohm, but this main line and these two mismatched. Automatically there is a reflection at this position. So and if you want matching, what we have to do, this must be 100 ohm, but assume it is not possible. Okay, it is fixed, 50 ohm only. This is also load impedance, it is also fixed, we cannot change. In such a cases, if we are not able to change the characteristic impedance of main transmission line and the load impedance, in such a case what we have to do, we have to use a impedance matching device in between the load and this main transmission line. Okay, so let's say what we have to do, we have to open here, and insert matching network in between load and the main transmission line. So that I have shown here. Okay, so this acts as a impedance matching device. Okay, so now I explained in the previous class also. So this is a main transmission line and this is a load, and in between that we introduced this quarter wave transformer. Okay, and we are adjusting the input impedance of this quarter wave. See here, input impedance, this is our quarter wave. Now this is our quarter wave transformer. Okay, load ZL is 100 ohm, and this is our input impedance here. Okay, input impedance depends upon the characteristic impedance here. So to get a maximum power transfer from this line, to this load, what we are doing, we are matching the impedance here. Okay, we should make a impedance here equal to this 50 ohm. So Zn looking in this direction should be equal to 50 ohm. Okay, then what happens, if you make a impedance here, you can adjust this as we discussed here. Input impedance Zn of this quarter wave transformer depends upon the characteristic impedance. So properly choosing this characteristic impedance, you can get a value whatever required here, Zn of this line. So this is Zn of the quarter wave line. This you can obtain any value by choosing properly this value. So what I want now in this problem, this Zn must be equal to this 50. Then what happens, here it looks like there is a 50 ohm impedance is there between here. So automatically the signal coming whatever from the source delivering through this transmission line completely delivered to this network, because here it is the input impedance is 50 ohm load. It feels like this whenever the signal comes like this, it feels like there is a match termination. So the signal is delivered to this network fully. Okay, so what we did is we took a maximum power from the transmission line to this network. Now assuming this length is small and also it is a lossless, maximum power delivered to the load 100 ohm. Okay, that is the idea behind this. So so we should make this Zn should be equal to this 50 ohm. To do that, what you have to do, you should choose this value properly. So using this equation, Zn equal to that. Okay, rearranging. Okay, what we will have here, for a required value to Zn required is 50 ohm. Okay, and this load is given, that is 100 ohm. Okay, what is the value of characteristic impedance of this line? So that we got 70.7 ohm in the previous class. Okay, so length of the line depends on the frequency, and the characteristic impedance depends on what value of Zn we needed. Okay, this we have to calculate. So once we know the length and this Z0, we can implement this. Okay, transmission line with the characteristic impedance 70.7 ohm. This is also transmission line. Quarter wave transformer is also a transmission line, but its characteristic now impedance is 70.7 ohm. Okay, but this is a main transmission line. It has a characteristic impedance of 50 ohm. Okay, that is main line. Do not confuse with this. Okay, so this is also a transmission line. This is also a transmission line. This transmission is a main transmission line. It may be of any length. But this is a one more transmission line connected to the end of the main transmission line, but its length is lambda by 4, and its characteristic impedance is this value, not equal to this. Okay, so by doing that we got input impedance is 50, that matches with here, and it delivers maximum power to this network. Okay, so that is the idea behind this method, quarter wave transformer matching. Okay, so now this matching is applicable only if the load and this characteristic impedance must be real. Then only you can apply this impedance matching circuit. Okay, quarter wave transformer is only for resistive load, and this must be lossless line. Okay, then only it can apply this method of impedance matching that I have written here. Okay, feed transmission line must be lossless and the load must be resistive. Okay, and one more drawback of this circuit is, see here, drawback of quarter wave transformer is that matching bandwidth, sorry, here is a bandwidth is very narrow. Here bandwidth of this is very narrow. Perfect match is obtained only at the frequency where the length of the matching transmission line is quarter wave length. Okay, so what I said here, impedance matching will happen. See, this ZIN is equal to 50 ohm. ZIN is equal to 50 ohm. That is needed. What is needed? We are designed to get this ZIN should be equal to this. That will happen. This ZIN will become 50 ohm only whenever the length of this line equal to lambda by 4 at the operating frequency. At the particular operating frequency, whenever that length equal to lambda by 4 at the operating frequency, then only this becomes a 50 ohm, not for other frequencies. Okay, that is the one. That's why it becomes a very narrow. Only at a particular frequency impedance match will takes place in this. Whenever the length of this line becomes lambda by 4, only at that frequency we will be getting ZIN is equal to 50 ohm, not other frequencies. Automatically, so it operates at a particular frequency. So bandwidth is very low in this case, narrow bandwidth. Okay, that is a disadvantage here. Okay, because this name itself says it is a quarter wave line. Quarter wave line, it depends on the length of the line lambda by 4, depends upon the frequency lambda. Okay, so if this frequency, this length will be satisfying only at a particular frequency. Only at that frequency you will be getting this is equal to 50 ohm, whatever you needed here. Okay, for other frequencies it deviates from 50 ohm, so it doesn't give a match. Okay, that's why that is a drawback of this quarter wave transformer impedance matching. But whenever the frequency is bandwidth is low, narrow bandwidth applications, so we can make use of it. Okay. Okay, we will see one more problem. This is what we discussed in the earlier class about a quarter wave transformer. Okay, this is one more example here. See example 2. Design a matching section, matching network. Okay, using quarter wave transformer. QWT means quarter wave transformer to match the load 300 ohm to a transmission line with a characteristic impedance equal to 50 ohm at frequency 10 gigahertz. They are given here. Okay, we should match the load 300 ohm to a transmission line with a characteristic impedance equal to 50 ohm. Okay, at 10 gigahertz. Okay, and use microstrip line for use a microstrip line. So this is a transmission line is microstrip line. Transmission line is microstrip line, for which the propagation occurs with a wavelength of 60% that of the free space. Okay, the propagation occurs through the, we have to use a microstrip line, and that microstrip line, the signal wavelength passing through the microstrip line has a wavelength. It is 60% that of the free space. Free space has a wavelength lambda naught. It is denoted by lambda naught, free space wavelength, C by F. Okay, but the wavelength in the microstrip line, it is not a free space. Microstrip line is not a free space. Okay, the signal traveling through the microstrip line has a wavelength in the microstrip line. It is 60% that of the free space. Okay, so 0.6 times lambda naught, its wavelength 0.6 times lambda naught wavelength. That is given in the problem. The problem is that. So we have to design a quarter wave transformer. It should match the load 300 ohm to a transmission line, main feed line. Its characteristic impedance is 50 ohm. Okay, at a frequency 10 gigahertz. Okay, so in this problem here, instead of 100 ohm, it is 300 ohm given, 300 ohm given, and 50 ohm transmission line, main line. Okay, so Here what is the problem given is, okay, here problem given is 300 ohm main transmission line, 50 ohm is there, and but operating frequency is specified here, that is a 10 gigahertz. Okay, and we should use a microstrip line. Okay, and wavelength through the microstrip line is 60% of the free space wavelength. So this is the given parameters. Okay, so now the problem is here. So this is a 300 ohm on 10 gigahertz. We opened here and we connected a microstrip, a quarter wave transformer. So this is a quarter wave transformer. ZL is 300 ohm given. This is a main line, 50 ohm here. We inserted quarter wave transformer here. Okay, so length of the line should be lambda by 4. It is generally lambda by 4, but what actually value of L? That depends upon the frequency. Lambda means it depends upon the frequency again. L is equal to lambda by 4. We should find out what is this length in centimeter or meter. What is the value? If you keep it like this, it is not at a particular frequency. What is the value here? You should calculate here. Okay, so now you see here wavelength in microstrip line is given. Wavelength in microstrip line is given, that is 0.6 times free space wavelength. Okay, wavelength in all the media is not same. Wavelength of the wave is not same. The wavelength depends upon the media. Okay, transmission line, type of the transmission line, it coaxial cable, two wire line, or microstrip line. That wavelength depends upon the transmission line. Okay, in free space it is lambda naught. Okay, in this problem, given problem, microstrip line is there and it is given 0.6 times lambda naught wavelength. So what is lambda naught here? Free space wavelength. Free space wavelength, how do we calculate? C by F. Okay, so that is equal to here using the given data 10 gigahertz. 10 into 10 to the power 9 giga means, okay, C is 3 into 10 to the power 8 meter. Okay, so meters per second. So lambda naught is what? 0.03 meter here, lambda naught. Or in centimeter it is 3 centimeter. In centimeter it is 3 centimeter, that lambda naught. But actually you should not take lambda naught by 4. See, length of the line is not lambda naught by 4. We should take lambda by 4. That means wavelength in the transmission line. Wavelength in the transmission line is different from wavelength in the free space. Okay, so this lambda by 4. So that is you should calculate what is lambda. 0.6 times lambda naught. We got a lambda naught, that is 3 centimeter. Okay, so now lambda is 0.6 times lambda naught, that is 3 centimeter. It is equal to 1.8 centimeter. Okay, equal I have forgotten to put here. 0.6 lambda naught is 3 centimeter, that is equal to 1.8 centimeter. You do this 6 multiply, if you get a 1.3 centimeter. I forgot to put equal sign here. Okay, so now if this is 1.8 centimeter, okay, if you do this you will be getting 1.8 centimeter. So put length of the line is now lambda by 4. What is lambda? Lambda is 0.6 times lambda naught. Lambda naught we got 3 centimeter. You do this, you will be getting lambda, that is 1.8 centimeter. Divide that 4 to get a length of the line, that is equal to 0.45 centimeter, or it is 4.5 mm. 4.5 mm length of the line is a 4.5 mm. So from here to here, we should take it is equal to 4.5 mm. Okay, that is okay. Length of the line we got. We should take length equal to 4.5. Okay, it is lambda by 4 at the operating frequency, that is 10 gigahertz. Okay, so that we got now. Design length over. Next, what you have to do, you should calculate this. What is the characteristic impedance of this quarter wave line? To get this ZIN, again the ZIN should be equal to this Z0 according to our problem. This Z0 is given 50 ohm line. Characteristic impedance of transmission, main transmission line is 50 ohm. Automatically we want this ZIN should be equal to 50 ohm. So you substitute that. ZIN we needed is 50 ohm and ZL given is 300 ohm. Required value of ZIN is 50. You substitute those two in this equation. You will be getting the value of this. So that is 122.5 ohms. So characteristic impedance of this line must be equal to 122.5. Okay. So you design a quarter wave line such that its length must be 4.5 mm and its characteristic impedance must be equal to this. Okay, then you connect that to the main line and the load. In between main line and the load you connect that. Okay, then we will be getting this ZIN equal to 50 ohm. ZIN equal to 50 ohm, and only at 10 gigahertz it will become 50 ohm only at 10 gigahertz, not at 1 gigahertz or 100 gigahertz, because we designed this length by taking a frequency. This length depends on the frequency. Only at that frequency its impedance become 50 ohm, but other frequencies it deviates. Okay, so we may not get a match. We do not get a match. Okay, if this big other than 50 ohm means it doesn't match with the characteristic impedance of this line, so we do not get a impedance match. So maximum power from here will be transferred to this load only when at a 10 gigahertz, because it is designed for 10 gigahertz. Length depends, we took only 4.5 mm this length, it depends on frequency. Okay, so like this is a problem, solution to that problem. So in the examination this kind of question may come. Okay, you have to design a quarter wave transformer. They will specify this what is the wavelength in the particular transmission line. Okay, that again we will be studying in the 4th or 3rd unit. We will see that time again what is the wavelength in different transmission lines, that we will come across. Okay, so this is a solution for that problem. Okay, this is about a quarter wave transformer. In the examination we may not get any data change only in this. Data may different, but this is a procedure how to solve the problem. Okay, is that audible? Hello, is it audible? Abhilash, Abhilash, Abhilash ji, present? Audible, Abhilash?
Yes, ma'am. Present, ma'am.
Okay. Sri Gauri?
Yes, ma'am. Audible.
Okay. Sri Gauri? Sri Gauri is present?
Yes, ma'am. Audible.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
In the next topic, we will see this is okay. Input impedance inversion using short or open circuited lambda by 4 transmission lines. Okay. So here in the previous problem, see in the previous one here quarter wave line, but load is there, some load connected, ZL is connected. Okay, this ZL may be anything. Okay, but it should be real for quarter wave transformer matching. Okay, now we will see so if this is ZL, some ZL, what is the input impedance of a quarter wave line? It is given by this equation. Zin is equal to Z0 square by ZL. It depends upon the value of ZL. Zin of a quarter wave line depends on the value of ZL. Okay, so we will see what is this Zin. See, this is just a quarter wave line we connected, that's all. Okay, if it is at low frequency or a short, automatically this Zin is equal to this ZL. If this interconnect transmission line interconnect, if it simply behaves like a short circuit or a simple short as at the low frequency, this Zin is always equal to ZL, but it doesn't happen at a high frequency. Okay, this Zin is equal to this. Okay, it depends upon the value of ZL. So now we will see this, if the value of this ZL is different, 0 or infinity, what is the input impedance? Okay, so this is a one what we have taken. You take a transmission line, its length is lambda by 4. See, I have taken a transmission line, length is lambda by 4, but if ZL equal to 0, instead of here ZL equal to something, I kept a ZL equal to short circuit here. You measure the input impedance here. Okay, you put a short here, measure the input impedance. See, usually if it is a low frequency, what we are expecting, it must be equal to whatever the impedance here, that is equal to 0 actually, because it is a short circuit. If you measure across a short, it must be 0 impedance, but it is not like that. You see, now I have taken a lambda by 4 line, it is short circuit at the one end. You measure the impedance here, okay, it is equal to infinity. It looks like there is a open circuit here, it looks like there is a open here. Impedance you measure here, okay, it shows a ammeter shows a infinity, sorry, ohmmeter shows infinite impedance, okay. It is a short here. Only what we did, at a distance of lambda by 4 we are measuring instead of here. If you measure here, it is automatically 0, but instead of that, if you travel a distance of lambda by 4, the impedance go on changes, and whenever the length is lambda by 4, the ohmmeter shows infinite impedance, okay. That from this equation also you can prove. See, input impedance of quarter wave line is given by this equation, okay. That is characteristic impedance of this divided by ZL, depends upon the characteristic impedance of the line. If ZL equal to 0, see here, ZL is 0, anything divided by 0 equal to infinity. So if you measure here, you will be getting infinity. It looks like a open circuit here. At the distance lambda by 4, even a short is there here, load is short, but at the length lambda by 4, the input impedance looks like a infinity. It is load looks like infinite. That is called as a impedance inversion. Impedance inversion. 0 looks like infinity. Okay. Similarly, if you keep a open circuit like this is a open circuit here. If it is a low frequency, if it is a simple short, then here is a infinite impedance, okay. But in case of transmission lines, what happens, see, even an open circuit is here, you measure the impedance at a distance of lambda by 4, it shows a 0 impedance, you will be getting this ZIN equal to 0. So open is there, but ohmmeter is showing 0 impedance. You just imagine, you may get a confusion if you do this one at a high frequency. It shows infinite impedance, short here. It looks like there is a 0 impedance between these two terminal. Okay, current will enter like this. Okay, so that happens here. Okay, so that is so here is a 0 impedance, so that is called as a impedance inversion. So this can be used for impedance inversion purpose. So impedance inversion means if you want a 0 impedance, okay, even a open is there, if you want a 0 impedance, okay, here then you take a quarter wave open line but a quarter wave length, input impedance look like a short, okay. Hello, is it audible? Hello.
Yes, ma'am, audible.
Okay. So this is called as impedance inversion. Quarter wave lines transforms impedance to okay. Short is looks like a open at the input side. Similarly, open looks like a short. Input impedance infinity here. Input impedance is 0 here. So they are called as impedance inversion. It is called as impedance inversion. A open circuit quarter wave line appears as a short circuit at the input terminals, and a short circuit appears as a open circuit at the input. Okay. Just a minute. Just. Hello. Okay. So this is called as impedance inversion. open and short circuited lambda by 4, short circuited lambda by 4 acts like a impedance inverters. Okay. There also they find applications in communication systems at a high frequency operation. And see, sometimes we are not able to implement a short or a open. In such a case, we can go for this transmission lines. Okay, we will see the application also. What is the application? You see here, one of the application I have written here. See, this is a how this impedance inversions can be used in communication system design, like circuits design. Okay, so take a transmission line with a impedance, short circuited line, the length equal to lambda by 4. Input looks like a infinity. Even it is shorted here, input looks like a infinity. That means current doesn't enter here, does not enter this circuit, enter this line. Are you getting here? Okay, what happens here? See, if a current tries to enter here, it doesn't go here. Even it is chart is there here, because current does not go like this. And at what frequency? At a frequency when the length is equal to lambda by 4. This lambda by, we are taking particular length, for example like this, it is equal to, we are taking, it is a 4.5 mm. Length L is equal to 4.5. Okay, that L is equal to 4.5 equal to lambda by 4 only at 10 gigahertz. If you take a frequency 10 gigahertz, then only it is equal to lambda by 4. That 4.5 mm equal to lambda by 4 only at 10 gigahertz. Okay, only at that frequency it acts as a inverter, impedance inverter. So for example, this example only, you take apply 10 gigahertz, apply 10 gigahertz. If this is a 4.3 mm, for example 4.3 mm, apply a signal here. Current doesn't flow through this. Actually here is a short is there, you try to connect here, source, connect a source here, but its frequency should be 10 gigahertz. I took this length equal to 4.3 mm here. Okay, 4.3 mm, and that is equal to lambda by 4 at 10 gigahertz. If I connect a source here, okay, actually what we are expecting, this is a short, what we are expecting, current must go, infinite current must go. Okay, but that doesn't happen here. Current does not drawn by this circuit, short circuit. There is no current flow here, because in between these two it looks like a infinite impedance. See here, there is a infinite impedance. So that's why current doesn't flow into this one. Okay, even if short is there, because for the source this transmission line looks like have a infinite open circuit. Okay, for the source it like a open circuit, current doesn't flow through this. Okay, so that happens here. Okay, similarly here also, that is called as impedance, that is because of this transmission line property. Okay, even a short is there. If it connected 10 gigahertz signal here, other frequencies they may send current, they may send a current here, maximum current may flow for other frequencies, but not for 10 gigahertz, because this line length equal to lambda by 4 at 10 gigahertz. So at that frequency the input impedance is infinity. Automatically this is a load here. If you connect a source here, whatever exists here, it is a load. So between this terminal there is a infinite impedance is there. So current doesn't flow at all to this, even a short is there here. So that is a property here. So that is used in the communication system circuits and devices design. Okay, similarly here also. Okay, it looks like even open is there. See, if you connect a source here, connect a source 10 gigahertz source. Okay, what you are expecting here, current should not go, current should not be drawn by this, but current will flow here, because input impedance is 0 here. You connect a source here, connect a source here, connect a source here, that source sends a current here. It looks like a short circuit for the source, because infinity here it is 0 impedance. If you connect a source here, that source to the source, it feels like between these two terminals there is a 0 impedance. Current will drawn by this, transmission line. Okay, you're getting that way it happens here. So here it looks like a short circuit, but here if you connect a source here, okay, what happens, current will not flow to this part. Okay, so this is open and shorts are there. Okay, these are used in one of the applications. Yeah, I have written here is application. Okay, RF and DC decoupling in microwave amplifiers. In RF microwave and amplifier design, this is an amplifier. I have not drawn here full circuit. This is the only transistor active device part I have written here. Okay, so this is active, and this is the output what we are taking, output from we are taking, and coupling capacitor we have to connect here. Coupling capacitor, RF output, amplified output is coming here, and this is a biasing. All of you know bias is needed for a transistor. This is bias, and DC signal, DC source here. Okay, so what we do is, see, from here DC signal is going like this, and we are taking RF output here, same from the same point. DC should go to the transistor. At the same point we are taking RF output, both should be there, is correct. DC signal should be supplied to here like this way. Okay, and from the same point we are taking RF signal out, that is the output. Okay, so what happens here if it is here like this, if it is one RF is there, see now, for example, this RF output is connected to some circuit, next circuit. If the impedance of that is high, impedance of this point RF output is there, this is connected to some next circuit. That next circuit impedance is high. Okay, that means if the signal comes here, if there is a high impedance here, okay, then what happens, signal will not flow like this. But you see DC power supply, this is actually input impedance of DC power supply is low. Okay, DC power supply is low. The RF signal comes, amplified signal comes here. If a DC source has a input impedance of low impedance, then what happens, signal may go like this, RF signal may go like this instead of going like this, because assuming this is a high impedance compared to this. Okay, then what happens, signal, amplified signal is coming here, because it finds a low impedance here, it may go like this to the DC source instead of coming out of this, because there may be a high impedance here at this position. Okay, so that is a problem in RF design. Okay, then what they used to do is, they are connect to avoid a RF signal going towards a DC power supply. Okay, what do? They are connecting a inductor like this. They connect an inductor. Okay, inductor offers zero impedance to zero. Inductor reactance is zero for a DC. So DC, for the DC signal it acts like a short. So DC connected to our transistor. But for a RF signal, what happens? This reactance of this is high, because omega as the frequency increases, omega L increases, reactance increases. Automatically what happens? This RF signal finds high impedance, because this impedance of this increased, it doesn't go like this, it will go like this. Okay, so that is what they do at a low frequency. Sorry, to avoid this RF signal to enter the DC power supply, they are connecting a choke or an inductor. Otherwise, if it is not there, if you connect directly to the transistor without this inductor, what happens? The RF signal will, amplified signal will come here. But it can flow like this also. It can flow like this. If this DC power supply has a very low impedance, the signal go into this DC power supply instead of going this way. Assuming if it is a little more high impedance, it will take path like this. But what is our intention? It should not go to DC power supply, it should go to this way. So what we have to do, for the RF signal, it has a particular frequency, for example 10 gigahertz. Okay, so you connect a inductor, then what happens, the at 10 gigahertz the inductor reactance becomes very high, so the signal cannot go like this because it offers very high impedance. But DC signal can connect it to here, but DC this appears like a short for DC signal, so it is a short circuit. DC signal enter the can be connected to transistor, but 10 gigahertz signal cannot go like this. Okay, that way they do to avoid that RF signal entering the DC power supply. Okay, So this inductor is needed, choke is needed, but implementation of this inductor is very tough at RF and microwave frequency range. Okay, inductor, because it behaves like a combination of, as we studied earlier topic, this inductor behaves like a combination of capacitor, resistance and all. Okay, so it is difficult to implement this inductor. So what people used to do, instead of this inductor, they use a quarter wave transformer. See, like this lambda by 4 transformer, quarter wave transformer. Okay, and this is a short circuit. Here is a short circuit. DC power supply has a very low impedance. That means it looks like a short. See this problem like this. Okay, this is a quarter wave line. This is a short here. So DC source impedance is a 0 here. It is a short circuited. Length of the line is lambda by 4. And assume 10 gigahertz. Our signal is 10 gigahertz. Okay, so this is a quarter wave line connected to a short. At the input side, what is the impedance here? What is the impedance? It is infinity. So like this, it is a infinite impedance. Short here, length is lambda by 4, input impedance is infinity. So now you see here, this is a short connected to the short circuit. Length is lambda by 4. What is the input impedance? Infinity at 10 gigahertz. So 10 gigahertz signal cannot enter this DC power supply because it is acting like a open circuit. Okay, so that's why this inductor is replaced by quarter wave line here in this application. Okay, so 10 gigahertz doesn't go to this DC power supply, it will go through this capacitor. Okay, and that is the output what we needed. So this inductor is replaced by like this inductor function, it is replaced by the quarter wave line transformer. This is a short here. Okay, so here it looks like a open, so the signal comes here, RF signal, but it tries to enter like this, it can't go like this because input impedance is very high, look like open here, so it doesn't go here, it will go like this. So that is the application of this transmission line. See, similarly, there are in many our circuits, mixer circuit, amplifier circuit, phase shifter, couplers. We are using transmission lines. Okay, so this is one of the example. What is the application of this? Similarly, you can use this also. Okay, there are a lot of applications are there because of these lumped inductors we cannot implement at a high frequency. We can make use of this transmission lines, they can be easily used, okay, at a high frequency. This is the application. I have written that same here, that theory, you can go through it. Okay, whatever I explained I have written here. Okay, so like this is one more example I have written here, circuit. This is actually the mixer circuit. In the mixer circuit you can see at RF frequency mixer circuit here. Okay, it has so many transmission lines. You see, this is a transmission line, this is also transmission line, this also, and also this and this, they are used as circuit elements. Okay, in the design of high frequency circuits. This is a mixer, there are so many transmission line for different application, different purpose. Lambda by 4 line, this is also lambda by 4, this is lambda by 4. Okay, as we know, lambda by 4 is used for impedance matching. It can be used like this, okay, for the isolation purpose. So uses a DC source is isolated from RF output. Okay, RF this choke isolates the DC power supply and the RF output. Okay, so like that for many purpose while designing RF circuits, we are using transmission lines because of all these properties. They exhibit all these properties. Okay, so this is an example. Okay, nowadays because everything is moving to microwave frequency range. Okay, that's why while designing, as we discussed in the earlier, there are a lot of issues are there for inductor, capacitor, resistor, piece of wire. To overcome all those, the solution is we can make use of transmission lines for implementing those components. Okay, so this is one inductor function is replaced by this quarter wave line in this application. Similarly, impedance matching purpose here, this is actually for matching, this is also for matching quarter wave line. These are for some other applications. Okay, this one open, this is a open circuited transmission line, this is open circuited quarter wave line, open circuited quarter wave line, like this open circuited quarter wave line. This is short circuited quarter wave line, this one, see like this. So all that combination finally gives rise to the mixer. That is very important in super heterodyne receivers. Okay, most of our trans receivers are super heterodyne. So that mixer is one of the very important circuit. In that there are many lambda by 4 lines are used. Okay, so this is application of that. Okay, so this are you all of you is it audible? Hello, is it audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Next we will see. Okay, that is about lambda by quarter wave line. Okay. Next, input impedance of half wavelength line. See, till now we studied length of the line is equal to lambda by 4. Lambda by 4. Instead of lambda by 4, if you take length of the line is equal to lambda by 2. What is the input impedance? What is the input? ZL is here. You take a length of the line equal to lambda by 2. So automatically what we are expecting on a transmission line, if a load ZL is connected here and you travel a distance of lambda by 2, at a distance of lambda by 2, same impedance must repeat. You should be equal to ZL. Is correct. That happens here. See, that is proved here. See, input impedance of half wavelength line. Okay, so ZL. You take so general expression for input impedance is given by this equation. If D is equal to lambda by 2, D is equal to lambda by 2 half wavelength. In the previous year, D is lambda by 4. Okay, then input impedance is given by this equation. For a lambda by 4, this is the input impedance. But if length is lambda by 2, okay, what is the input impedance? You just do this. Okay, by substituting D is lambda by 2, beta is 2 pi by lambda. You simplify. It is tan pi, Z0 tan pi. Here is Z0 plus JZL tan pi. Okay, so now from this equation, from this, what is the value here? It is equal to ZL, because tan pi is equal to 0. Tan pi is 0. Okay, 0, 0 here. ZL by Z0 cancels. You will be getting ZL. Okay, because tan pi equal to 0. Substitute tan pi here, 0, 0. Okay, remaining is ZL here and Z0 cancels. It is equal to ZL. And it should happen according to our theory what we studied. Impedance repeats at a distance of lambda by 2. We took a length of the line equal to lambda by 2 and substituted in this equation. What we are expecting, this input impedance measured here should be equal to this. So that we got it is equal to ZL. Okay, actually this also find some application, because sometimes we may not be able to connect this source directly to this ZL. Some isolation may be needed. Okay, in such a case we can use this because impedance at a distance lambda by 2 is same as the load impedance. Okay, so that it also find some other applications, so we will discuss that later. Okay, application of this. Okay, because at a distance lambda by 2 same impedance will repeat. Okay, it also find some other application, we will see that later. Okay, so like this is a one proof for that half wavelength line impedance repeats. Okay, that is proved here. Similarly, so okay, next topic is here, input impedance of open and short circuited lossless transmission line. General expressions here, general. Okay, see here what is the input impedance of short circuited, but length we were taken lambda by 4. What is the input impedance of short circuited line, but length of the line we took a lambda by 4. For that we got a infinity, and lambda by 4 open circuit we got input impedance is equal to 0. But in general, length may be of any value. Okay, not a quarter wave line, it may be of any length. So in such a case, input impedance. What is the input impedance? If length of the line is anything, some value, any value, it may not be always lambda by 4. If it is a lambda by 4, automatically short means looks like a open. Open means it looks like a short. Is correct? That happens. So it open short circuit means it looks like a open here. If it is a length, D is lambda by 4. Okay, if it is open, it looks like a zero impedance here. If it is length is lambda by 4. But always we are not using a lambda by 4. It may be any value. Okay, D may be anything. In such a case, what is the general expression for input impedance? Input impedance of short circuited transmission line. This what is a Zn? Length may be anything. In such a case, what you have to do? In this general expression for input impedance, you take a general equation of impedance you take. This is a 1. Here you substitute ZL equal to 0. Length may be any value, D. Okay. For a short circuited line, ZL equal to 0 you put in this equation. You will be getting this Z0 cancels here. Remaining is J Z0 tan beta D. J Z0 tan beta D. ZSC. Okay. So what is the input impedance here? It depends upon the characteristic impedance of the line and the D. That means length of the line. Okay, length of the line. It input impedance here, it is also called short circuited input impedance. Zn is a short circuit impedance. General case is given by this equation in general. Okay, it may be of any length. Okay, if D is lambda by 4, it is equal to infinity. You can put it here. You can substitute D is equal to lambda by 4. ZSC become infinity. Okay, but any length, D may be any length. Okay, that expression is here. Okay, so D is the distance here. As you move like this, as the distance D varies, as you move like this, see, at 0, D is 0 here. Okay, it is 0 impedance. But if you move like this, impedance increases. See like this. Impedance increases like this. It is a increasing. Impedance is increasing. Whenever you come to the length lambda by 4 at somewhere here, see at this position lambda by 4. What happens? Impedance increases and it becomes infinity at lambda by 4. When the length, if you take only, if you measure here, if you take only this length, measure here, then impedance is infinity. Okay, if you further move, impedance changes, inverts, negative, it becomes negative and infinite, and it start decreasing. See like this, as you further move, it decreases and it becomes 0 here at a distance of lambda by 2. If you move a distance of lambda by 2, see here, this impedance must repeat 0. Okay, at a distance lambda by 2, so it repeats here. You see, impedance after lambda by 4, it goes negative, infinity, but decreases and it becomes 0 at lambda by 2 again. So the same pattern repeats here. This again repeats here. Okay, like if you plot a impedance, this ZSC, ZSC means you go on measuring the impedance here like this, move like starting from here, that is 0 here. Okay, go on like this, measure the impedance. Yeah, impedance variation is like this. It go on increases, becomes infinity at lambda by 4. So this is a impedance plot as a function of distance. This is the length of the line like this. Okay, go on measuring the impedance like this. Okay, the impedance variation you will observe like this. This is the impedance variation as a function of distance D. Do not confuse. This horizontal axis is the impedance, distance. That is, we are measuring at a different distance over the transmission line. So if you plot this, see this is a 1. If you plot this as a function of D, D is a different value of D, you substitute. Okay, we will be getting the plot like this. Okay, first it increases, reaches maximum, and it take a inversion and infinity. Again it start decreasing and become 0 at a length lambda by 2 here. Again it increases, become infinity at 3 lambda by 4. Again it becomes at 2 lambda, lambda it is again equal to 0. See like this. Okay, so this is a plot of this ZSC as a function of distance. Okay, So if they ask you to plot a short circuit input impedance as a function of distance, okay, this is a short circuit. As the length varies like this, impedance also changes like this. Okay, so that is one here. Similarly, input impedance of open circuited transmission line. Open circuited transmission line means this one. This is D, may be anything if it is open circuit. Okay, so what we have to put? ZL equal to infinity in this equation. So we cannot substitute ZL equal to infinity directly here. What we have to do? We take our ZL outside. Okay, and these two cancels. Here you substitute infinity, and here is a infinity. ZL infinity. So anything divided by infinity is 0. So this is 0 and this is also equal to 0. So you will be getting this one. So if you simplify this, it becomes cot beta L minus j cot beta L. See, simplify this. Z0 here you will be getting j is in the denominator. If multiply and divide by j, then what do you get? J divided by j square. That is j square is equal to minus 1. So minus Z0 j cot beta L. So ZOC is equal to minus cot j Z0 cot beta L. That we will be getting for the open circuited line. Okay, general expression for Zn of a open circuited line, it may be D, may be anything, is given by this equation. Okay, thus I did not put, we will see it in the next class. Okay, so like general instead of D lambda by 4, if we take a general length, okay, any length, then the short circuit impedance is given by this equation. Similarly, open circuit is given by like this. And these again find many applications in a communication system circuits design. Okay, those we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so we will discuss this in the next class, that topic. Don't see, here is I am taking attendance here. All of you must present. Yashas is present.
Ma'am.
Vishwas.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. Praveen. Okay, so as you can observe, I stopped sharing. I am taking your attendance now. See, that's why all of you be careful. We are considering somehow. Finally, if say something in the college level, then you people are the facing the problem. Okay, we are not. That's why I am asking every day. All of you must join the course. Okay, as from the guidelines of our institution, our department. We are doing this attendance. Okay, all of you must be in the class. Okay, fine. Okay, we will continue in the next class.